got Duolingo, no one's ever learned a language from that once, right?
A question a lot of people have is, can you actually learn a language through Duolingo? And Duolingo will tell you, yeah, kinda, right? You play the games and you learn some stuff. And they've even put out studies that say, yeah, kinda, right? Play our games and you'll learn some stuff. The study that I looked at reported that when it comes to reading and listening, people who studied through Duolingo usually fell in the high beginner, low intermediate range, which really isn't that bad for a game on your phone. But still, there are some factors here that I think are worth picking apart, right? Like, the study focused on Spanish and French Duolingo users, and it's nothing wrong with Spanish and French, but these are languages that tend to be more resourced online, right? Like, Spanish and French lessons tend to be a bit more robust because there's just a little bit more funding put behind it. But an under-resourced language may not be as robust, and on Duolingo may not be as effective. Personally, I know a little bit of Arabic, and I've done some of the beginner lessons on Duolingo, and in some places the sounds is just a little bit off, and I know other people have looked into other languages and found like syntax, grammar, and vocabulary issues. But on top of that, I think one of the issues here comes from people's idea of knowing a language, right? Like, the study focused on reading and listening, which is both great skills to have, but a lot of people won't say they know a language unless they speak it. And on Duolingo, you don't necessarily have to do any speaking. Now, you can practice your speaking with Duolingo, right? You can play the audio and speak along with it, and I would recommend you do that as much as you can, but it's real easy, at least for me, to play through the game in complete silence. And a third factor here is that you can control how much time you put into Duolingo, right? Like, some people might go for 5 minutes a day, and the results there might be different than someone putting in 30 minutes a day. And the results there might be different than someone who goes to class for an hour a day and practices their speaking in addition to their reading and their writing. So I don't think that Duolingo is absolutely useless, but you can go further than Duolingo, right? Like, Duolingo is like hitting a single, right? We love a single, get that batting average up. But to get back home, you might need to do some other things, right? You might need to steal a base, someone might bunch you over, you might score on a sacrifice fly, right? Like, there's multiple angles that we can approach language learning.